the comedy of enmity between Turkey and Israel. In reality, the Israeli and Turkish governments are acting in concert behind the scenes. Everything else is just a façade. Most of Turkey's most powerful and wealthy families are of Sabbatean origin. Meanwhile, the public remains in a deep slumber. The real power lies in their hands. Throughout history, Turkey has repeatedly been sold out to foreign powers. The Rockefeller and Rothschild families have deliberately kept Turkey impoverished up to this day. This is why they have consistently obstructed and sabotaged energy resources and projects, particularly those involving oil and thorium. On the surface, it may appear as though mutual rivalry and diplomatic crises are unfolding, but behind closed doors, the Israeli and Turkish governments have been coordinating for a long time. The disputes presented in the media are nothing more than theatrical distractions designed to divert the public's attention. A significant portion of Turkey's most powerful and wealthy families are of Sabbatean descent. These families wield immense influence not only in the economy, but also in media, bureaucracy, and even politics. Yet, the broader population remains unaware of this structure, having been lulled to sleep for years. Throughout its history, Turkey has consistently been under the influence of external powers. Despite frequent emphasis on national sovereignty, key decisions have often been made behind the scenes, with the country's fate shaped by the interests of global elites. In particular, financial dynasties like the Rockefellers and Rothschilds have strategically aimed to keep Turkey in a low-profile, economically dependent position. Consequently, Turkey's underground resources, especially oil, natural gas, and thorium, considered the energies of the future, have either been systematically ignored or actively sabotaged. Historical and strategic analysis. Israel-Turkey relations, deep diplomacy. Relations between Turkey and Israel have been tumultuous since the 1950s. At times, they have forged very close ties, particularly in military, intelligence, and trade sectors. Military cooperation agreements signed with Israel in the 1990s, e.g., the 1996 Defense Pact, highlight Turkey's strategic partnership with Israel. However, occasional harsh political rhetoric, e.g., the one-minute outburst at Davos, carries the air of a theatrical performance aimed at swaying public opinion. Behind the scenes, business usually proceeds smoothly. Sabbatean families and deep influence. Emerging in the 17th century Ottoman Empire with Sabotaged, this movement infiltrated Turkey's political and economic life, particularly through elite families from Thessaloniki. Claims that some prominent families in the early years of the Turkish Republic belonged to this group have surfaced in various studies. Over time, these families are said to have gained control over major capital groups, media outlets, and universities, a topic debated by both leftist and right-wing circles. External powers and energy strategies. The Rockefeller family, via Standard Oil, and the Rothschild family, via international banking, were key players in shaping the 20th century global economy. Despite its geopolitical significance and resource wealth, Turkey has failed to capitalize on its potential. As one of the world's leading countries in thorium reserves, Turkey has seen little development in this field. Beyond technological hurdles, allegations of international pressure and sabotage are frequently raised. For instance, since the 1970s, various nuclear energy projects have been stalled by bureaucratic obstacles, external interference, and internal sabotage, keeping the public asleep. Perception management. For decades, Turkey's media, education, and cultural policies have been structured to keep the masses passive and prevent them from focusing on the bigger picture. Soap opera culture, football obsession, polarizing politics, and economic distractions have kept the public preoccupied, obscuring the true power structure. While not unique to Turkey, this phenomenon is particularly pronounced there. Conclusion. Although these claims are often dismissed as conspiracy theories, historical and socio-political developments lend credence to many of these points. Turkey's inability to realize its potential is not solely due to internal incompetence. It is also the result of a deliberate global strategy. The covert collaboration with Israel, the influence of Sabbatean families, and the sabotage of energy resources can all be seen as pieces of this larger game.